Hey everyone, it's Apache here and welcome back to another episode of Vintage Story here on the Skalds of Vintara server. Thank you very much for joining me today and continuing to show your support for the series. If you do enjoy this episode, please leave a like and a comment, and if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe as well. So today we are going to be actually working on the interiors of the forge over here and getting some of the stuff we need to open the shop. So hopefully we'll be ready to open the shop fairly soon. We need supplies, we need stock, and first of all I want to fix the windows because I've found out now how to actually make the slabs with these. So I'm going to take the windows out from here, we'll come inside, breaking through the windows, and my thoughts originally were I would put a saw into here just like you do everything else, but there's no output. So this is not a shapeless recipe, it is a shaped recipe. You have to put it on the left hand side, just over here with the saw in the middle. I believe you can do that, yeah, so you can put this anywhere you like in the grid, but the glass has to be on the left hand side of a copper saw. Anywhere else doesn't work, even on the bottom. So that was my problem with this. And also that gives you these plain glass slabs. It gives you 4 of them, however these are only horizontal, and so I believe you have to put these in back into the crafting grid just on their own, and that will give you the only vertical ones. It's a bit of a shame they don't work, but you can see they do seem, the ghost mode at least does seem to be able to... No, that's not where I want it. Not at all. Right, let's try again. So I want it there. Okay. And there. Good. So that's how we want all the windows. I'm not going to do the stairs above and below like I've done on the doorway here, because I think that it would set them in a bit too far and it would be a bit too much all over the building to be able to do that. So what I can do now is just take out all of the windows in this building and replace them with the slabs. So I think that is what I'm going to do now, and you can join me back once it is all done.
So I was saying in my last video that I wanted to give Apache a gift for the seeds that he gave me. And I know you have been struggling really hard at finding tin, right?
Yes, I have, yeah.
So I went out and did a little expedition here earlier today, and I didn't find any tin, but I did find something else. And this should help you out a bunch.
Oh, wow. Okay, so a huge amount of copper and some bismuth and sphalerite. Oh wow, thank you very much.
So that should be, I don't know how many ingots it will make, but that is an even mix for bismuth bronze.
Oh nice.
Using maximum bismuth, minimum sphalerite, and then the balance in copper. So that should get you going on getting your bronze stuff going, and you can get some iron then if you can find it.
Excellent, thank you very, very much. But hopefully maybe enough to do an anvil as well. I'm not sure. I'll have to see how much it comes out as.
If you need, up here in the top of my house, I do have a tin bronze anvil. And I would be willing to give you this to put in your blacksmith's place as long as I can use it from time to time.
Oh, of course, yeah, definitely.
All right, that sounds great. It's been sitting up here and I've been sitting there going, what on earth am I supposed to do with this thing? So
yes, but that's really good. Thank you.
Yep. Well, I hope that kind of squares everything away, because I know those seeds are a pretty big deal. So
yeah, it took a long time getting those.
All right. Well,
thank you very much.
Thanks a bunch for the seeds. Yep, no problem.
So as you saw in that clip there, Nathan has given us some really nice presents there. We'll be able to get the forge set up nice and quickly now, actually, especially with the anvil there. I have actually been working on the anvil. You can see I put all these in place as well now. But yeah, I have actually been working on the forge area here. I've been collecting up a load of copper, some what was that, molybdechalcus ingots over here, and some brass ingots over here. And this is going to form the start of our stock. Over here I've got the basalt stone bricks, which I've been able to make up. Been able to find the basalt from a trader in polished form and then made up the bricks from there. And I've got 2 forges inside of here. So I'm going to build this up, and this is going to come right out of the roof here and end up pretty much at the roof line just there, with some smoking chimneys coming out the top of it. Over on this side I've started on the mould, so I've got all the ingot moulds here, and we're going to go across to the town hall, and we're going to grab some of the moulds that are in there as well, because after that clip you just saw with Nathan, I was speaking to him about the moulds inside here, and we've said that they don't really need to be in here now, especially if we've got a blacksmith over there. So we're going to pick these up. Can these just be picked up? Yes, they can be. So there is a load of, we've got 6 pickaxe moulds there, and I will definitely want the hammers as well. We also have axe moulds. See if there are any more axe moulds, just for free there. Put those in, and we have some shovel moulds here as well. We do have a hoe mould. I think I've got 1 more hoe mould that I've made up myself, and we have the long blades here as well. So that is all of that, and what I'm going to do, I think, within this shop is say that anybody is welcome to use the forge area outside to make ingots, to make any of these moulded items. What I'm going to sell in the shop is going to be the actual anvil forged items. So I'm going to sell, I think it's scythe, copper scythes and shears, chisels, saws, and all that kind of stuff. I think copper plates. There's a few other things as well that I want to sell. But in here, this is going to be the moulds. So we're going to put these ones down, just like that. There's the pickaxes. There is the hammers. So they're the 2 most important, really. I'm going to want 1 more axe, so I'll leave that space open there. And I will probably want 1 more of the long blades. And then we have the shovels here as well. Now we may want to change these around a bit, maybe only have a little bit less so that we can put in another row of stuff here. Or maybe we want to have these in a chest, and they can be taken out as needed, and just keep these ingots at the end here. I've done it like this because the maximum you can put into one of these crucibles of any one material is 24 ingots worth, or 2,400 units. And so each one of these ingots is 100 units, and so I've got 24 of these in total going up here. So if you fill a crucible completely and put it onto a fire to heat up, you can fill every single one of these and it will completely empty a crucible. Because one of the problems I've found in the town hall is that we only had, I think, 10 of these in total, and so you'd fill up a 24 ingot crucible, do 10 of the ingots there, and then you're left with 14 ingots worth in here. So you've got to try and fill up these moulds, and you're just getting stuff that you don't particularly want at the time just because it's there. So I'll put the hoe down on the end there, and I'll see what other moulds I've got and see exactly how I want to set this out. I also want to build up a couple of fire pits in here, so I'll grab the stuff for that as well. And I've just remembered I want to bring these out by 1, because that is, I found in the design of it, it's easier if you bring them out by 1 rather than having to go all the way inside this thing. So yeah, let me get a couple more things together and we'll see exactly what we can do now. So we can place some dry grass on the ground here and then fill it up with some firewood, and that will create fire pits just at the front there, and that means we can heat up crucibles on those. I've also got a lot more firewood here we can stack up. I think I'm going to stack this just over here for now and bring that up like that, and then we've got a little bit more as well, just like that. And then on my back I've got this basket, place that down, and this has got all the stuff that Nathan gave us. So if we take the anvil out, we can place that down over here, and that'll mean it's just a very short walk from here over to the forge. But I don't want this right in the very centre of everything. One thing I didn't really fit into this build when I was designing it was how we're actually going to retrofit a health hammer into this. So I need somewhere for a windmill coming out of it somewhere. I'm not too sure where. It's something I'm going to have to look into. Maybe I will build a tower type thing on the top of the building there and have the windmill mechanisms just come all the way down, maybe underground, and then back up into here. But I haven't really had to play around with them at all yet, so we'll have to see what is available to us. If not, I may put a windmill tower out here somewhere. I'm not exactly too sure how big it needs to be, but we will have a play around with that. Until then, I want to try and keep this a little bit minimal in here, because there's obviously going to be stuff that we need to add in as we go along. I do have another axe mould here, so we can place that down. I have another hoe mould. I can go over there, and I have a prospecting pick, so I can go there. So that'll give us, we've got one more space we can put something in, not too sure what yet. That'll give us a good range of stuff we can do. I think I've got a lamellar mould somewhere as well, but I don't exactly know where at the moment. Kind of lost a lot of my stuff. So we'll place the crucibles over here, and I want to see just how much this is actually going to give me. So if we grab 4 of those, I'm assuming that if we do that and that, and that, and that. Okay, so maybe we will need to take out stuff like that. Yeah, and that will give us 1,600 ingots. Oh, sorry, 16 ingots, 1,600 units. Wow, okay, so we've got 32 ingots in total of bismuth bronze. That's really nice. So I think with this bismuth bronze, we're going to make a pickaxe and a hammer, and then pretty much turn the rest of it into ingots, so we can store it over there with the rest of the pile of metals there. I don't think there's anything else I'm going to need just yet. I mean, maybe an axe would be good, but I get through axes so quickly that I think it would be a bit of a waste. I know that I'm definitely going to need hammers of the higher tier metals, and I know that I'm definitely going to need pickaxes of the higher tier metals. Everything else can essentially just be flint or copper for the axes and flint and copper for the shovels. I don't really do much combat. I tend to just stay away from the drifters at night, so the long blades aren't really that useful just yet. Prospecting pick might actually be quite good. Might make one of those just to have one, really. And the hose, I'm not doing the gardening just yet, so I'm not too worried about those. But of course, to actually smelt these down, we're going to need a better fuel than just firewood. So on my back here, I have a ridiculously huge amount of charcoal. So I've emptied out my charcoal pit, and this is the second chest of that. So we've got a huge quantity of this stuff. So let's just grab a load of charcoal. I won't need this much, obviously, I don't think. but I'm going to put 30 in each because at the moment we can afford to splash out. And also one other thing that I am going to need in here is a torch holder, because I'll need a torch holder right next to the forge so we can quickly light the forge whenever we need to. Now I've got one in here, and I think I should have somewhere a couple of extra torches, not torches, lanterns. But until I can find those, I will just grab, where did that go? There we go. Brass torch holder and a torch. And we can head back over and place these down. Now the nice thing is that this is a really enclosed area, so we can actually work here at night and we'll be completely safe. So with the torch holder on the wall there, we can light these fire pits. I'm just going to do one at a time because I don't want too much of this stuff on at once. So once this is melted and we've filled up the ingots, we can wait for those to go cold before we do the other one, because it does take a while for them. What I might do, because it's getting dark, I'll fill the ingots and then go and sleep, and then come back in the morning and they should be nice and cold and able to be stacked. So we're nearly there at the end, and there it is. So we can take that out, white hot into our hands. It took, what, 14 in total? So it's going to take a lot of charcoal to actually get through all of the stuff I want to make here. But we'll just start emptying this into the ingot molds. I'm going to make one pickaxe, one hammer, and we will make one prospecting pick as well. And then we can fill up the rest of these ingot molds, and then I will go and sleep. And so the next morning is upon us, and we're back at the forge ready to see if this lot has cooled down enough to be able to pick it all up. And it seems like yes, it has. Okay, so we'll gather up all of the ingots first of all, and we'll place those down over here. I think they can go at the back because there's going to be a fair few of these. Because we're going to set this one off now. So we need the torch. We'll light this and just let that heat up as we're going through the rest of this. I'm also going to need a box of sticks over here, aren't I? So let's go and grab a box of sticks. I want to show you the outside, at least, of Nathan's new build here. This is going to be the tavern, and it's absolutely incredible. I love this building. So much detail to it, so much depth. You can see the very front of the building here, and then you've got these two dormers that get a step back, and you've got this big dormer at the back that steps back yet again, and then this one doesn't step back just as far. Huge amount of detail, huge amount of depth, and this is the kind of build that I really struggle with. I'm okay with more geometric designs like this, and I've started to get into the dormer design. I've been following Grian's build school, Minecraft build school, to be able to actually build better than just kind of a single roof line. And it's getting there. It's a slow progress though. Anyway, we wanted sticks, so let's come through here. I've got an entire box full of sticks here. Let's put that on our back and we can head back over. We need the sticks because we need to actually make up the tools. So we're going to need a huge amount of sticks over here. I'm also going to need more chests over here for charcoal because I want a really huge constant supply of charcoal. But we are going to place this just on the wall there. So there is the sticks. And grab 3 sticks out for now, because that is what we're going to need for these. So we'll get a bismuth bronze pickaxe. We will want a bismuth bronze hammer, and we will want a bismuth bronze prospecting pick. I may end up doing a chisels out of this bismuth bronze as well, because I really need strong chisels to be able to do a lot of the work that I want to do in here. How far is this along? We're getting there, not too bad. Still got 10 more of these to go. So in the meantime, we can have a look at the inside of the shop. Well, first of all, let's put a sign up on here saying public use forge, please replace tools, is essentially what I want to say on here. Please replace used tools. Down one. Yeah, public use forge, please replace used tools. And so that should keep a constant supply of the stuff we're going to need in here. I will actually need to move this firewood because I want to put up some tool racks on here with some hammers and pickaxes, I think. Mainly just hammers though on there. In here I want to add a sign just on the outside saying opening soon. So this will be shop opening soon. If we go down to another line we can do that and then press backspace. Feel free to take a look around. Can't do the round. Okay, so we can do that. Down onto the next line, press D, backspace, and there we go. Shop opening soon, please feel free to take a look around. And so we can actually start putting the signs up in here. So what are we going to want to sell and what are we going to want to charge? Now I've got a really strong idea about exactly how I want to do this. And I'm also going to need another couple of chests, one there and one there, for exactly what I want to do. So we'll get rid of that. So on here I'm going to want a copper scythe. We're going to sell copper stuff to start with, and then once we've actually got into it all we can start selling other metals and other materials. So this is going to be 1 rusty gear, and this is the currency that I want to start using, because we can use the traders to actually get other stuff and luxuries and things like that, decoration items, which you can't get through any other means than the traders. And so being able to trade with the traders is going to be a really, really important part of this. And it also means that we can use the traders as essentially wholesalers for supplies, and we can start selling supplies to them as well. So it's actually fairly easy for pretty much everyone on the server to get rusty gears from the traders through some means, and there are a lot of traders around. I think I've got maybe 9 or 10 traders on my map in total, of all different kinds of stuff. And so I'm able to go out and gather up a decent amount of rusty gears whenever I want. I think the next thing is going to be a copper saw. That's another thing we can actually forge rather than mould. So that's going to be 1 rusty gear as well. And pretty much everything in here is going to be 1 rusty gear. I think apart from the plates that I want to sell, because the plates just destroy hammers. I think you can make maybe 2 or 3 plates per hammer. So they're really, really expensive in terms of materials. So it takes 2 ingots to just make a single plate anyway, and then you're essentially using half a copper ingot again just on the hammering process. So it's 2.5 ingots of copper per plate, and I think that's a little bit too much to be charging a single rusty gear for. So the copper plates, which we're going to have I suppose up here, and we'll say copper plate, and that is going to be 2 times rusty gear, because I think I'd be happy to pay 2 rusty gears for a copper plate. I'm pretty sure I would. Let me know if you think that's too expensive or whether I'm really underpricing this. I'd be really interested in what you think in the comment section down below, what you think of all of these prices. So we have the scythe, we have the saw. What else are we going to have next? We're going to need a chisel. So I'm going to need tons of these anyway for the upstairs of this shop. And we're just going to call these 1 rusty gear again, because that's just a single ingot, nice and easy to make. I can make lots of those very quickly, but we can't really do half a copper gear. So yeah, a scythe costs the same as a chisel, but it's more or less the same amount of work. Over here, I suppose we could do with... what else is there? I'm not sure what else we need. What I could do with is actually melting down one of these and finding out exactly what we need to make. Has this been done yet? Oh, it's getting close. Okay. So, what else do we want to sell? I know over here I want a donations bin. So that is just going to be donations on here. And that is going to be people who like the shop, people who like what I'm doing. They can come in and they can give me whatever donations they like in there. It's mainly so that other stuff isn't just clogging up all the chests. I'd like to keep a very clean inventory in here. And on this side, this is going to be the bargain bin. So in the bargain bin, we're going to have all kinds of stuff like the cow skulls, shells, various different things like that, cactus, and I don't know really, anything I find which is really interesting, which can be sold nice and easily. So everything in this chest, regardless of what it is, regardless of how big the stack is going to be 1 rusty gear. So I'm going to bring this up onto the 3rd line here, and I'm going to say 1 rusty gear per stack, because then I can choose exactly how much is in each stack within here. I will want to also sell molybdenum plates, and they will be on here to match the ones on the other side. And I did find it is molybdenum, but you can't actually do anything else there. However, if you go down onto the 2nd line and finish the word, go back to the beginning of that line, press backspace, that will actually make it fit on the line above. So molybdenum plate, and that again is going to be 2 times rusty gear. And I hope it's obvious what this is. I suppose, can I do... I can't do it like that, but what I could do is that same trick. Like that. So yeah, we could do it like that on all of these. And I may go around and change the bottom of these to match this. So this stuff should be okay by now. Yes, it is. So we can get the rest of these ingots on the go. And this is going to form a really nice foundation for our forge here. We'll be able to go out, we'll be able to get some iron even now. So I'll be able to search for iron, search for meteorites. Not meteorites just yet, I'll need an iron pick for that, but we will be able to prospect for iron and go and gather up some iron and actually start making some of that, which would be nice. It'd be nice to get an iron pickaxe and actually start getting on with some of the later levels of this game. So while we're waiting for these to cool down, I have remembered what else we want to sell in here. So if we just head up and in, we want to sell in this one, we want to sell copper shears, because I will be making a lot of these for myself, so I may as well make extra to sell as well. So if we do that again, we can do this trick just like that. I suppose that should actually just be 1 rusty gear, shouldn't it? Yeah. And this one should really be rusty gears. So if we do that, put the S on, and then do that. Okay, done. And then on this one, we want to sell, I actually want to sell copper pickaxe as well, but I also want to sell copper spear. So what I think I'll do is I'll sell the copper spear on this one. So I have actually found the copper spear really nice and useful. And again, this is going to be 1 rusty gear. So I'll do that and save. And then over here, I want to sell a pickaxe, but I don't know if I just want to do copper. I think for now, I'll just sell copper, and then people can use these for most stuff, and then they can use their own tin bronze or whatever pickaxe we're going to want. But I have just got all that bismuth bronze, so I might be able to start selling some bismuth bronze pickaxes as well. However, for now, because that was a gift, I don't really want to use the stuff that Nathan's given me for stock for the shop that I'm just going to profit off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that for my own personal use, and then go out and actually mine stuff up with those tools, but I can then come back and sell in the shop. So that's what I'm going to do with that. Most of it will probably be used on hammers, so I can actually start making stuff in bulk. So the copper pickaxe, again, is only going to be 1 rusty gear. I'm hoping that people will think that this is a fairly decent price for all of this, because I have no idea what this sells for at the traders. So I could be really underselling myself here, and completely selling myself short. But it seems that rusty gears have a very strange pricing structure with the traders, and it doesn't really match exactly how much things are worth. I think 4 linen cloth to buy is 3 rusty gears, but then I think it was, what was it for this glass? It was 8 glass for 2 rusty gears. So yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see. I'll see how the pricing goes in here. And the last one I want to sell is a brass torch holder. We'll be selling these as single items. You make them in doubles, but we'll be selling them as single items. And again, we'll do that. And then we'll go 1 times rusty gear. And bring that down onto the last line. And so there we go. That is the shop with everything that we're going to sell all labelled up with the prices on it. So what do you think of the prices? And is there anything you think we're missing? Do you think we should start selling tin bronze or some other kind of pickaxe immediately? Or should we wait for a while and see how these go? I'm really interested in your opinions on this, because this is the first time I will have done anything like this in this game, and I still have no idea about the economy and the pricing. So yeah, thank you very much for watching me today. If you did enjoy this episode, please leave a like, comment and subscribe on the video and to the channel, and I will see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please consider supporting me by subscribing to the channel and liking and commenting on the videos. Thanks. See you next time.